Hi learners, in this video I'm going to talk about the advantages or merits of cooperative societies and the demerits of cooperative societies. The first advantage of cooperative societies is ease of formation. Ease of formation actually means that the formation of a cooperative society is much easier as compared to a joint stock company, as the number of formalities which are to be observed by the cooperative societies is much less in its formation as compared to that of a joint stock company. The next advantage of cooperative societies is open membership. Open membership means that the members from similar backgrounds are free to enter a cooperative society. There is no restriction on the number of members entering into or forming a cooperative society. Next, the management of the cooperative societies is done on democratic lines. Democratic lines means that the members from among themselves elect certain members to become a part of the managing committee who are responsible for the management of the cooperative societies. So, therefore, the members of a cooperative societies manage the cooperative societies themselves. Next, limited liability. Limited liability means that the members of the cooperative society enjoy the advantage of limited liability. Limited liability means the liability of the members is limited only to the extent of the amount contributed by the members as capital. The next advantage of cooperative societies is stability and continuity. Now, the cooperative society enjoys perpetual succession, which means that the members of a cooperative society may enter as well as there may be exit of members, but still the cooperative societies continue to function. Next is low prices. A cooperative society can make goods and services available at reasonable costs, and as the profit margin of a cooperative society is very less, therefore, for this reason, it is cooperative societies tries to offer goods at low prices by eliminating middlemen from a chain of distribution. Like many a times, the goods are directly purchased from the manufacturers or producers and sold to the customers. Like in the case of consumer cooperative societies, the consumers make direct purchases from the manufacturers. Now, since the purchases are made in bulk, therefore the customers enjoy the benefit of low prices. Then next advantage of cooperative society is mutual help. Now, generally a cooperative society is formed by the members for the purpose of getting economic benefits for all its members. So like let's take the example of a housing cooperative society. The members who form a housing cooperative society find it very difficult to realize their dream of owning a house because of their small resources. They are not able to own a house. Whereas when they pool their resources together and form housing cooperative societies, the customers have access to houses at much lesser prices. So therefore, the cooperative societies offers the advantage of mutual help to the members. Next, social advantage. A cooperative society discourages monopoly. Monopoly is the market situation where there is a single seller. Now, cooperative society also offers other advantages like it helps in the distribution of wealth, it even among the weaker sections of the society, and it works basically on the principle of service and mutual help, and it also helps in preventing exploitation. And further, even the surplus profits which are earned by the cooperative societies sometimes are used for establishing charitable hospitals, schools. So therefore, so cooperative societies increases the social welfare. The next advantage of cooperative society is mobilization of savings. Now, generally, people with small resources are not able to, are not able to make big investments. So, but in the case of a cooperative society, people even with small resources are able to pool their resources or savings by mobilizing the savings of these small investors. The cooperative societies help in uplifting the economic status of the weaker sections of the society. So, that is also one of the advantages of cooperative societies. Next, removes the defects of capitalism. Now, this form of business organization removes certain basic defects of capitalism. Capitalism is a situation where there is concentration of wealth only in the hands of a few people. Now, let's take the example monopoly. The undue concentration of wealth in the hands of a few people leads to corrupt practices like black marketing, exploitation of workers, customers, etc. And by removing this removing this market situation of monopoly, the cooperative societies helps in removing the defects of capitalism. Next, cash trading. Now, generally, the cooperative societies follows the principle of cash and carry, which means generally transactions are done in cash, and as a result of this, the cooperative societies are safe from the safe from bad debts, and they can enjoy various benefits of various discounts and concessions. The next advantage of cooperative societies is government support. Now, basically, a government society is formed for the benefit of the members or for mutual help. And since it offers a host of benefits to the society, like it helps in removing the defects of capitalism, it helps in mobilizing the savings of the weaker sections of the society, and therefore, the cooperative societies promotes various moral, social, and educational values. So, this way, government also gives many concessions and privileges for the formation of a cooperative society. So, these are some of the advantages or merits of cooperative society. Now, moving on to the demerits of cooperative society. The first disadvantage of cooperative society is the limitation of capital. Now, since in a cooperative societies are generally formed by members who belong to weaker sections of the society, and generally the members of a cooperative societies are not able to contribute or invest much capital in the formation of a cooperative society. So, therefore, this limitation of capital this limitation of capital also poses problem in the growth and development of cooperative societies. Next, state control. Now, generally, cooperative societies are governed by provisions of the Cooperative Societies Act or law. And because of this compulsions, in order to comply with the provisions of the various acts, the cooperative societies are supposed to maintain records, submit to audited returns, and also comply with the various government officers when they come with the inspection. And through this way, the state exercises control over the cooperative societies. Next, inefficient management. The cooperative society's management is in the hands of the members of the cooperative society themselves. So sometimes if members are not efficient enough, or the managing committee of a cooperative society does not show keen interest in the working of the society, then in that case the cooperative societies will be under loss. Further, the members of a cooperative society, since they come from economically backward sections of the society, they do not have much access to education, and because of this they lack the basic managerial skills and intelligence, which effect again leads to inefficient management. Next disadvantage of cooperative society is absence of business secrecy. Now, the officers of a cooperative society are generally people who are not able to maintain proper secrecy, because generally the management is in the hands of the members of all the members of the cooperative societies, and these members do not have much education, so they do not realize that how important it is to maintain the business secrets. So the officers of the cooperative societies find it very difficult to maintain the business secrecy. And further, it is also compulsory to advertise the annual accounts and annual reports of the cooperative societies in newspapers. This further again poses a problem of business secrecy. Next, lack of motivation. Now, there is a lack of motivation for the managing committee, which manages the affairs of the cooperative societies. And basically, the members of the managing society are also not are not paid any extra salaries for their efforts. And the rate of dividends which is paid to cooperative society members is also restricted to 15%. And so this discourages the general public from joining the cooperative society. The next disadvantage of cooperative society is political interference. Now, the cooperative societies many times acts as a platform for political activities, and at the time of election, some of the political parties get in touch with the managing committees of various cooperative societies, and ask them to ask them to participate and or propagate their political agendas. This leads to corruption of power and money in the cooperative societies, and also results in quarrels and disputes among the members. The next disadvantage of cooperative society is limited scope. Now, generally, the scope of the cooperative society is limited in the sense that it cannot cover the entire economic systems. So, basically, the principles of cooperation cannot be successfully applied to organize all types of economic activities. Like, let's take the example, a cooperative society is not suitable for organizing big industrial enterprises, where business secrecy is one of the essential aspects, and finance is the major lifeblood for big industrial undertakings. So, therefore, formation of cooperative societies is restricted to small businesses. The next disadvantage of cooperative societies is conflicts among the members of cooperative society. Now, internal quarrels and rivalries among the members is another common scenario in the case of cooperative societies, And as a result of these internal quarrels, generally many members do not take part in the management of the affairs of the cooperative society, and all this ultimately brings the cooperative society to an end. Next is the lack of public confidence. Now, generally, people do not have faith and confidence in a cooperative society, and this is due to various reasons because the resources of cooperative societies are limited, and further, the management is in the hands of the members of cooperative society who may not be competent enough to run the organization. So, therefore, this leads to lack of public confidence. Next is absence of economies of scale. Now, a cooperative society is a very small organization. It does not have much financial, managerial, and technical resources. And as a result of this, large scale operations like are carried out only by joint stock companies. And when the operations are carried out on a large scale, the cost per unit or the cost of production is reduced. And since the cooperative societies do not carry out operations on a large scale, therefore they do not enjoy economies of scale. Next, restriction on members. Now, as per the prevailing legislations, the cooperative society cannot be formed until and unless a minimum of 10 members are available. And as a result of this, its growth is checked because less than 10 members cannot form cooperative society. So, these are some of the disadvantages of cooperative societies.